Hi everyone, in this presentation, I will discuss a data-driven approach to understand Netflix business challenges in 2022. The background of this assignment is the news that Netflix lost subscribers in the first quarter of 2022 for the first time in more than 10 years, and its stock price dropped sharply afterward. This shows that Netflix was facing an important business problem, not only in operations, but also in market confidence. So the main question of my analysis is, how can Netflix use data to better understand its 2022 subscriber decline and identify actions to improve retention, engagement, and monetization? Based on the article, I think Netflix faced several major challenges. First, it had subscriber loss and slower growth. Second, it faced stronger competition from other streaming platforms. Third, password sharing reduced its ability to convert users into paying subscribers. Fourth, there was macroeconomic pressure, especially inflation, which may have made customers more sensitive to subscription spending. Finally, there was a strong negative investor reaction, which suggests the market view is slowdown as a serious issue. To translate this into data problem, I focus on descriptive analysis. My goal is not to prove one exact cause of subscriber loss. Instead, I want to use public data to understand Netflix situation from three angles: content engagement, market reaction, and macroeconomic environments. So my data-driven business problem is, what do public data suggest about Netflix engagement patterns, content concentration, market reaction, and external pressure during its 2022 subscriber decline? The main stakeholders are Netflix strategy team, content team, product and monetization team, and finance leadership. In this project, I use three datasets. The first is Netflix official top 10 weekly viewing data from Tumdum. This helps measure engagement, title performance, and content concentration. The second one is stock price data from Netflix and peer companies. This helps show how strongly investors reacted to Netflix earning news. The third one is US CPI inflation data from Fed. This gives a public measure of microeconomic pressure during the same time. I also use April 19, 2022 as a key event day because that is the Q1 2022 earning release discussed in the article. Before analysis, I clean the data by standardizing column names, converting dates and numeric variables, checking missing values, filtering the data to the 2021 to 2022 period, and creating time variables such as month and year. After filtering, the dataset covered July 2021 to December 2022, which gives enough context before and after the subscriber loss event. For the EDA, I first look at the weekly engagement trend. The chart shows that viewing hours were not stable. There were clear spikes and drops over time. Around the Q1 2022 earning days, engagement was relatively low compared with some earlier peaks. This suggests that Netflix demand was uneven rather than consistently strong. Second, I analyzed the top three share of weekly viewing. This chart shows that in many weeks, more than half of total top 10 viewing came from only three titles. That means Netflix engagement was highly concentrated in a small number of blockbuster titles. Third, I also look at viewing by category. This result shows that TV in English contribute the most viewing, followed by non-English TV, then films. This suggests that series content, especially TV content, was a key driver of engagement. I also look at the top titles in the period. The leading titles included Stranger Things, Squid Game, Wednesday, and so on. This again shows that a few major hits contributed a large share of viewing. Fifth, I compare Netflix store price with peers. The chart shows that Netflix store dropped much more sharply, especially after the April 2022 earning release. This means investors reacting very negatively to the subscriber loss news. Finally, I look at inflation. The CPI chart shows that inflation was high during this period. This does not prove inflation caused Netflix slowdown, but it does show that Netflix was operating in a difficult consumer environment. From this analysis, I draw four main insights. First, Netflix engagement was violent, not consistently stable. Second, viewing was highly concentrated in a few titles, which suggests dependence on blockbuster content. Third, TV content was the strongest driver of engagement, especially English language TV, while non-English TV was also important. Fourth, Netflix slowdown happened during a time of both strong market concern and high inflation. So the company was facing both internal and external pressure. Based on these findings, I would suggest four actions. First, Netflix should focus more on retention, not just subscriber acquisition. Second, it should reduce our reliance on a few major titles by building a broader pipeline of successful content. Third, it should continue investing in strong TV content, especially the categories that consistently drive viewing. Fourth, it should improve monetization. For example, through pay sharing controls and more flexible pricing options. In conclusion, this analysis used public data to better understand Netflix 2022 subscriber loss challenge. The results suggest that Netflix slowdown was related to uneven engagement, heavy dependence on a few hit titles, strong negative investor reaction, and a difficult macroeconomic environment. By combining engagement data, market data, and inflation data, we can better understand Netflix business problem and propose practical actions for improvement. Thank you.